Happy New Year's, friends. It's Mike here, and welcome back to Simply Bougie. So on today's episode, we're going to do a few simple little things to zhuzh up your New Year's Eve experience. But before we get started with that, I do want to take a moment to just discuss where I've been the past month-ish or so. So I have a really dear friend, Linda, who passed away in the end of November. She had been sick for many years with different medical conditions and lost that fight in the end of November, like I said, which is pretty much where I've been. I was fortunate enough to be able to be by her bedside days before she passed, spending time with her family and obviously taking some time for myself. But with that in mind, one of the most important parts of my channel are living your bougiest life. And I feel that, Linda definitely did teach me a good way to loosen up, have fun, joke about things, and, not take life so seriously, which is, obviously one of the more important parts of this channel is, we're trying to show simple, fun ways to enhance that experience for yourself. So with that in mind, I know that I now have a guardian angel over my shoulder, and she is making sure that I not only produce more content, but that I definitely have fun with it. So with that in mind, we're going to get started with our little tutorial. So I'll be back in just a moment. So today we're going to do a few simple things to zhuzh up your New Year's Eve experience. Now, obviously with COVID restrictions, I am very strongly asking people to just, follow the protocols. Don't have crazy gatherings, if even at all. This could all be things that you do over a Zoom call even. I mean, it doesn't have to be in person. I do have a small group of friends that I have watched how they act and are doing things, and they follow the same standards I do, so I do feel more comfortable being in their presence when need be and time comes for it. Now, with that in mind, when we do get together, if we can, we stay outside and as far apart as possible. If we have to do it indoors, it's kept to a very small number, and again, we're still spread across the room as need be. So if you are having people over, like I said, just please do it right and keep it simple. Now, the first thing here I was going to show you is just a simple little centerpiece for your table. Nothing expensive, nothing super flashy, but again, just a simple way to make that experience for your guests. So obviously a candle is always a nice thing because it adds the ambiance and, the little extra. If you have lower the lights down and you have the candle light going, it's nice. And then the other parts are just wrapped candies. Now, I did it this way. These are all containers I got from the dollar store, so $1 a piece. Got a bag each of the green and red mints that, again, $1 a piece. The most I probably spent was on the candle because that I actually got from a different store, and they were a 4-pack for, I think, $5, so $1.25 for that. Now, I'm not saying you have to spend pennies on the dollar. If you have the extra, go for it. But this is just a way to, add a little something extra without breaking the bank if need be. But I also like doing this because when you do a centerpiece that's actually interactive, you could do it as a way for people to snack and eat from the centerpiece as well. And I think that makes people feel more welcome in your house because it's not something that's like, don't touch, but just look at. With these now, again, I did the wrapped candies because COVID. So I don't want somebody digging their hands through a candy jar and then the next person having to go in and do the same thing. But in normal circumstances, have some chocolates, gumdrops, fruit, whatever you want to do, nuts, anything that, can make it fun for the guests of your house. So with that, like I said, I did the wrap mints because I figured that's a good way to have the after dinner mint when you're done eating. Now, as far as the New Year's toast is concerned, I have a couple little simple things I was going to do here. So the first one is actually, and yeah, I went real fancy with this. I have wax paper and a paper plate. And what I did was I just got orange sorbet, which That's what us bougie folks call it, but it's, you know, sherbet. So I just took those and I took a small cookie scoop and I just made a bunch of little dollops on the plate, put this back in the freezer to get rock hard. And then I just went back in after they've frozen up and pulled them off the wax paper just so that way they're loose. So what you can do is you could actually keep this in the freezer the whole time. Once it comes time to do the toast, just take a few of them, and I'm using my fingers, yes, but again, if you're having guests over, please just use a tong or a spoon or something. So I'm just taking a few of them, putting them in my cup here, and I'm going to do my champagne toast with, yes, grape juice. So don't judge me. I'm filming this at 7 in the morning, so even though I think, you know, having a fun champagne toast is exciting and good, I also think it'd be problematic to do with this early in the morning. And I don't want to hear that it's 7 o'clock somewhere thing, because I ain't doing that. So I'm not much of a drinker anyway, but anyway, just as simple as that. Just some orange sherbet, or sorbet, sorry, in the cup. And then I'm using sparkling grape, but like I said, if you have a nice champagne, bubbly, whatever you call it, and then you fill it up, and it kind of gives you that nice mimosa look to it. I keep calling it sherbet, but we know we're being fancy here, so it's sorbet. It'll actually start to melt in there and gives your sparkling grape or champagne that lovely orange color to it. And then the other one is going to be a little extra. So what I have here is a little bowl with water, and then this is just some red glitters that I got from the craft store. Now, obviously, they're edible glitters for cake decorating. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my champagne cup here, dip the edge into it, obviously simple, and then take that right into the cup, and we got a beautiful little rim that adds a little extra sweetness to it. So that part's simple. Then what I did was, following up with my dollar store finds, I got cotton candy. So I don't know if any of you have ever seen this or not, but all you do is you just kind of take the cotton candy and fluff it up a bit, because obviously it's going to be kind of hard packed in there. It's not the fresh spun one. And if you have one of those machines, good for you, but I ain't doing that. And then just going to shove that into the cup. And when you pour the champagne in, obviously it's going to melt in, but it adds that fun little flair to it. See, melts through, but now look, it's that beautiful pink color. So simple ways to bring your New Year's experience to life. And with that in mind, cheers to everybody. Now, that one obviously just adds a little bit of sugary to the champagne itself. This one is going to add that bit of an orange flavor to it. That's really good. And then you're kind of having dessert at the same time. So win-win. Now, simple, right? Easy way to zhuzh up your New Year's experience. Now, another thing I did is trying to keep, you know, fun and festive and different. I got this fun little product at World Market. I don't know how well you could see that. It's called Glog, I think. But this is actually kind of like a mulled wine starter, if you can call it. So this is actually a nice spiced mixture drink here. It's a concentrate. So what is suggested to do with this is you take half this, and then the other half being your wine, vodka, rum, again, apple juice if you want. What I like to do, again, I'm not much of a drinker, but I will on the occasion. But for me, I would actually rather take like an apple cider and just warm it up on the stove. And then again, equal parts of the Glog mixture to the apple juice. And you have a nice festive drink that, in my opinion, is kind of, you know, doing a little bit more old world style, because that's something that, you know, back in the days, they like to have those spicy. All right, so that was probably a weird cut that you may have seen, but I started rambling and talking nonsense, so I had to start over. One of the other things I wanted to mention, though, with the new year coming, obviously 2020 has been hard and bad and for a lot of people. That's kind of the purpose of my channel, though. This idea was born out of the pandemic and watching people not handling it so well. I'm kind of easy to hermit. I love being out in public and being around people, but I'm also real easy to sit in my bedroom for 6 hours straight watching nothing but, you know, Netflix or YouTube. So it was a little different for me, but I know a lot of people did struggle with that. And the purpose of this channel is to make sure that we know how to celebrate the little things in life, keep things fresh and new and fun and going for us. So with that in mind, I do want to just say that, I appreciate everybody who has been doing their part and pitching in to stay as safe as they can, doing the quarantining, keeping away from extra people around. It's getting scary out there. So, the last thing I want to do is see people get sick from this, and it's not pretty. But one of the things that, I suggest is, like I said, simple things to just add fancy flair to your day. You could do a champagne toast with just champagne, fine. Or sparkling grape juice if you're a weirdo like me. I also, am that person that stays up till 10 at latest on New Year's Eve because I'm an early bird. As you could tell, I'm filming at 7 a.m. But one of the things that, like I said, I'm doing with this channel is you could do just champagne in a cup, fine. But if you want to add that little extra something that's not breaking the bank and it's fun for you and keeping things exciting, this is the point. So going into the new year, push your boundaries, do something different, be grateful for the little things. One thing that I'm definitely grateful for is my really good friend, Theda Vallee. She cracks me up. No matter what the circumstance is or the situation, we find a way to laugh at it. I always tell everybody that her and I could go to a creepy motel in the middle of Arkansas and still have a blast because we could just sit there and make fun of people. So, yeah, that probably sounds rude, huh? But that's what we do. Anyway, so she is an independent author, and she wrote this amazing book here. I don't know how well you can see it. It's called Stir Until Petrified, and this is part 1 of her 2-book series. The second one is called Recipe for Disaster, both really good reads. You can find them on Amazon if you just type in Theda Vallee. And she's actually part of a couple other collections of books too that people have done. I know it probably looks bad because you could tell this hasn't been read, but that's actually not the truth. She sells the hard version, but she also has the e-read, and since she's my friend, I had to have the physical copy too, so the untouched one, but I definitely went on my Kindle and read the e-read version of it. But, I'm not much of a reader, so I pushed the boundaries, and when she started putting her books out and got myself into doing that. Again, it's finding the, simple things in life to celebrate, to enjoy. Try a new hobby this year that's something that you probably wouldn't normally think is your thing. You never know what you can find. I'm sometimes a simpleton. I like simple, basic things up to extravagant and elegant. So, to each his own, but I've, always been that person that, if it doesn't seem like your thing, at least try it. And if it still isn't, then at least you tried. So with that in mind, I hope everyone has the happiest of New Year. Let's please make 2021 not 2020, because that was just awkward. So anyway, I appreciate all of you guys, and I promise that I will be making more content. I will be making better content. I will be doing what I can to just entertain anybody any way I can, whether it's 5 of you or 5 million of you, it doesn't matter. The channel is not about trying to be the next big YouTuber. I'm just trying to have fun, and the few people who watch, I hope I can bring a little bit of a smile to your day. So if you do enjoy my video, please subscribe and like, and definitely make comments, because one thing that I have found is my channel is small and humble, but my subscribers are, in my opinion, they're my bougie friends, because they definitely are not ashamed to give me critiques and help me to fix things, which actually this video is fixed a little bit because of that, because last video I did was kind of far away, and one of my subscribers had said, hey, can you close-in it up because I didn't quite see the product you made too well. So it's all a learning experience. Actually, the champagne toast is another thing that one of my bougie friends suggested, because they were saying, is there something you could do to show us a way to make New Year's Eve a little bit more fun in these weird times of being alone? So hopefully that helped for you. I've had more who have sent in pictures of the items that I've demonstrated and their versions of it, or even if they did it exactly the same. And I love seeing that. So I appreciate that. And like I said, this channel isn't going to have subscribers going forward. It's just going to have our bougie friends, because you guys are actually really cool and I appreciate all of that. So definitely subscribe to my channel, like the video, make those comments, just be nice, because, you know, I am a little sensitive that way. So anyway, I hope you guys have the bougiest of New Year, and I'll see you next time. Bye.